Hi and welcome back. My name is Janine. You can call me D. I'm an astrologer and I teach people the psychology behind marketing. And today we're going to be talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, I've always wondered what made him into the Terminator. So I, of course, took it upon myself to look up his chart. And today I'm going to be sharing that with you guys and the aspects that are made in his natal chart and how it affects him and his personality and his overall character. And we're going to be diving into a lot of what isn't usually talked about, which for me is rulership. And I don't see enough people talking about how rulership really does affect the manifestation. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm super excited. Let's go. Okay, you guys, so Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, he started lifting when he was 15, and then he became Mr. Universe and Mr. Olympian when he was 20. Opened his own production studios called Oak Productions, and he, of course, became married, got separated in 2011, divorced in 2021. His father, when he was growing up, was chief of police, and his mother, I don't recall what she did. He was Catholic when he was growing up, and his father, the relationship between him and his father, at one point in time, his father believed that he might not be his child, okay? This is very important for reading into his aspects, which we're going to get into right now. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, inside of his chart, he has a stellium with Leo, and he has the Sun, he has Pluto, and he has Saturn, all right? So the Sun ruling over his second house, he has Pluto ruling over his fifth house, and he has Saturn very much ruling over his seventh house, okay? So the conjunctions that are being made and taking place in this sign, he is giving a lot of energy to the strength of his body and using the strength of his body in a way that is athletic, fifth house, okay, and towards something that requires a lot of endurance on his end, all right? And with his Sun also making aspects to Neptune, it's giving him a different spin on his career and what it is that he's going to produce in his career long term, because Neptune deals with the early on beginnings of life and the things that we have interest in, okay, but also later on the reformative acts that we give back to the world, okay? And his Sun making a sextile to Neptune, and Neptune ruling over his ninth house, is saying his perspective of his values, especially when it comes to long-term relationships, and what it is that he wants to build in long-term relationships and want to be known for publicly, that's going to change. And it has changed, okay, because he, of course, did lifting, bodybuilding, but he has taken on a very much different role. A different role now from what it is that he had when he first started out, okay? And Arnold Schwarzenegger, with Leo being a stellium there, he has a lot of emphasis on acting. He has his Mercury sitting in his first house, so this is putting a lot of emphasis on what it is that he says and comes out of his mouth. But with it being in the sign of Cancer, it's actually putting more of an emphasis on what it is that he's hearing or listening into when it comes to the people that he's conversing with and communicating with in his immediate environment. His moon being in the sign of Capricorn at the 3rd degree, sitting in his 7th house, is saying that he is very much a listener when it comes to people and how it is that they truly feel. Mercury is making a trine to Jupiter, so the ends and the means are coming together, okay? The means for the ends are coming together, okay? And this is giving him, when you have Mercury sitting inside the sign of Cancer, this makes a person very keyed into the tones, okay? The tones and the vibrations that take place when a person talks, all right? The tonality of a person's voice. And Mercury in Cancer, when it's making a trine to something like Jupiter in Scorpio is very, very good at finding and relating, okay? A lot of things that when it's having contact with Mercury are going unsaid about the person's emotions or deeper feelings that are happening and going on. And because Mercury is sitting smack in the middle, okay, smack in the middle of Mars in Uranus, sitting in Gemini in his 12th house, and his stellium of Leo. This is putting a lot of energy and emphasis on the vibrations and the emotions that this person has. His Mars is sitting right next to Uranus, and this is creating a lot of energy that's being produced, right? Because Uranus deals with the nerves in the body, okay, the nervous system. And Mars is, of course, how we assert ourselves. It's the drive. And Mars also deals with muscles, okay, the blood. So this is making the person very much geared up, okay, because this energy with the stellium in the 2nd house and Uranus and Mars in the 12th house on both sides is giving Mercury a lot of energy that this person feels. And with Mercury controlling his Mars, okay, Gemini, and it's creating this energy so that he's using it and asserting himself in a way that, one, is very reflective, very meditative. So when he exercises or when he takes action and asserting himself that way to build up his body, 2nd house, the strength of his body, okay, making a conjunction with Saturn and Pluto, the strength of his body being built up. He is taking this and he is using this as a way to be reflective, meditative, and even visionary when it comes to what it is that he wants to be or who it is that he wants to be long term, okay? And because we have Mercury in the 1st house and we also have Mars sitting in the 12th house, you can check this. You have him, a person who studied and very much got into psychology himself, okay? And how it is that he can build himself up in that field and in that area psychologically, all right? Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger, as I said, has a lot of energy created around Mercury, so his links, his communications, and because his moon is sitting in the sign of Capricorn, it's building his links and communications around people that he, of course, needs to value, who are going to value him for Leo, his talents, recognize his talents, admire his talents, but also give him that stage to where he can perform and be this person and express this value, okay? So that's all that we're going to really be getting into, you guys. I really wanted to do his whole chart, but I have a couple of other things to do for the day, and I don't have as much time as I would like to sit down and do his whole chart. But I am going to be posting this up so you guys can see it, okay? And I'll be doing some more charts and getting into a whole lot more detail. One last thing I did want to talk about though before we did go is Arnold Schwarzenegger's ascendant, MC, IC, and his descendant, okay? So his ascendant is in Cancer, his descendant is in Capricorn, his MC is in Pisces, and his IC is in Virgo. So he is very keyed into his emotions, all right? These deep emotions that he does end up feeling, and his perception, okay? His senses, I would say. And this is very highlighted because the fact that he has Mercury sitting on his ascendant, it's not just like he has these feelings. These feelings can very much invade his space. He has a link, okay, to these feelings on an emotional level. He thinks through his emotions, okay, and his emotions are quite deep, making a trine to Jupiter, okay? So the emotions that he spiritually feels, okay, his morals and his ethics, okay, is very much influenced by his emotions and those he is linked to, okay? And that's the last thing I wanted to really go over, all right? I'm going to be getting into a lot more of these chart examples and a lot more of different things that go on or can be seen in family charts. Don't worry, I have them coming up, you guys. I just been busy, but I'm back, all right? Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't ever miss out and you can be up on new astrology things, okay, and how we plan over here. And if you liked and this resonated with you, make sure you hit that like button. And you guys, I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.